Another day, another dollar. You know how I grind. It is another episode of the Easy Corner. I am your host, Matthew Ezerike. Today's guest. Wow. It's a lot of words you can describe this guy. A basketball player, a real hooper, a philanthropist, almost an innovator, but I would say a Fort Bend legend, the Richmond legend as well too. My guy, 2013 class in Fort Bend, Bush High School, Shawndre Jones. Man, what's up, Shawndre?
What's up with you, man? Appreciate you for having me, for sure.
Honestly, it's been a long time coming.
Right.
You know, obviously, there was rumblings a lot. Mm-hmm. You know, bringing Easy Corner, bringing back the old times,
right?
The Fort Bend times, the high school times.
Right.
We're going to get into that, but that's how this kind of interview was stemming from the Aaron Harrison interview.
Right.
Who was the best in Fort Bend at that time?
Right.
I went D'Angelo. He said himself, but also, you know, I said Jonathan Jordan. He said Shawndre Jones.
Yeah, he was wrong.
But we will get into that. But first of all, I want to say, man, how are you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. Living, can't complain. Life is going well right now, so just trying to keep everything pushing forward. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
So here on the Easy Corner, man, we talk about a plethora of topics. We talk about the past. We talk about the present. We even kind of talk about goals that you kind of want to endure in the future. But before that starts, Shawndre, I'm really happy to have you here. You're one of the guys that I've saw because you were in my era. So I graduated 2011 from Elkins. Mm-hmm. But I always still kept up with high school basketball. So for my whole career, I've watched you even when you were with Texas Pro on the EYBL circuit, going on to University of Richmond. So I'm really here to kind of give you your flowers because at the end of the day, you are one of the top guards that I've ever seen that's graced this city. So like, if I don't say it today, I'm letting you know, like, at the end of the day, it's all love. Right. Everybody has opinions, but I said I'm not going to take away the player that you were and the player that you are still to this day.
Right.
So like,
I appreciate that.
So that's the one thing that I want to kind of just start off with before anything. But Shandre, just talk about how you kind of got started in the game of basketball.
It all stems from my pops. So I'm not from Houston. Mm-hmm. So in Virginia, my dad played at D2 college, HBCU, Virginia State, where he kind of went back to college to play, so he was a little older. But when he played, I was able to be there, be the water boy, be kind of around the game a lot. My dad was in the gym day in and day out, just hooping, right? Just for the love of the game, really. Yeah. So that kind of sparked my passion since I was maybe like 1 or 2. So I kind of played basketball my whole life. I really didn't know anything else but basketball, really.
Talk about those times, like you said, like it sparked your passion when you were 1 or 2. Like, what were the kind of drills, like almost, or things that your dad was kind of just putting you through to kind of be successful in this game?
Yeah, so small things, like while I was watching TV, I would have to dribble the ball, right?
Yeah.
Don't look at the basketball, dribble the ball while we watch TV. Small things like that throughout the day kind of compounds, and before you know it, your ball handling is up to par, right? Mm-hmm. Just because of small things like just dribbling while we watching TV or while we eating or whatever we may be doing. He was like, dribble the basketball with your left hand.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So like different things like that kind of just was stepping stones for me. And then like I said, while he was playing pick up or what have you, I would have to dribble up and down like I'm in the game, but on the sideline, right? So I would dribble up and down while he's playing guys like Corey Alexander,
okay.
Ben Wallace, these type of guys, Johnny Newman, who also went to University of Richmond legend. So like I would see these guys, these pros in our city, which is a small city, but I would see these guys playing and kind of gave me something to shoot for.
But kind of just talk about the just not your city, but also the state of Virginia, because obviously people don't really kind of give credit to those athletes like Allen Iverson, Michael Vick, guys like those marquee names. So can you just talk about assess the state of Virginia as a whole when knowing that there is like a lot of legends that came from the great state of Virginia.
So Virginia has a lot of great athletes, but Virginia is a smaller state. So we don't really get the notoriety of a Texas, of a Florida, of a California. But we understand that is always kind of a chip on our shoulders. I kind of carried that when I came here. In high school or in middle school, I looked up to guys like Tyrese Rice.
Tyrese Rice. So was that Boston College?
Boston College,
Lefty.
right?
Okay.
So Richmond legend.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Tyrese was one of those guys where I would like skip school to go to his games. Kind of how y'all talk about Tommy Mason.
How
y'all talk about Tommy Mason is kind of how we talk about Rice back home. So that was one of the guys that I would look up to that, in my opinion, should have been in the league, right?
It reminds me of Isaiah Thomas a little bit.
Yes, exactly. So we have like a lot of stories like that from our city, but that kind of gives us our chip and our edge.
When you're talking about that, I want you to kind of talk about that chip and that edge and that grit, like being from Virginia. What does that kind of represent to you and representing Virginia basketball?
Right. So, my whole family lives there. Everything I knew growing up was from Virginia. So when I came here, I did small things like wore Timbs and Nike boots and foam posits just because y'all didn't wear that down here. And I just wanted to make sure people knew I wasn't from here. So like that's kind of how we kind of carry ourselves where I'm from, and kind of tried to bring that here a little bit.
Before we kind of get to your high school career, can you just talk about like early childhood memories? Like let's go like say from like 5 all the way up to like middle school. Kind of just talk about those years competing in Virginia. And honestly, the one thing I do want to also touch on too, not just competition on the court, but also kind of like competitiveness on the blacktop, because a lot of kids are getting away from that.
Yeah.
You know, they want to be in the AC.
Yeah.
They want to train. They don't want to, want to lose in 21. They don't want to, so just kind of just talk about those times in basketball.
Right. So growing up, my dad was still playing in Virginia, so we would go everywhere to play basketball, day in, day out. We would go to, we had this thing called Rockwood Courts, which is an outside court, and they actually played outside like every weekend, every day. At my house specifically, I had a court outside my house growing up, so everybody in the neighborhood would come kind of convene at my house and kind of play games all night, drink water out the hose, it was that type of feel in those times growing up. Then once my dad moved to Houston when I was in middle school, I was outside with my friends more than I was trying to be in the gym. So I was really just trying to kick it at that point. I was already pretty good in basketball, and I kind of was like living off your reputation. Off my reputation. Exactly.
So talk about those times, but before you talk about those times when your dad wasn't there in middle school, kind of just talk about your family in general and like the importance of them on who you are today. But I especially kind of just emphasize at those times, like mom and dad, obviously dad and Texas, mom still in Virginia, but kind of just talk about those times and those pivotal days.
Right. So I've always been super big into my family. Like I don't really have a big circle. My circle is pretty much only my family. My mom, talk to her every day, even to this day. She gets a phone call or FaceTime every day. If she doesn't, she feels like what's wrong. So my cousins, a lot of my cousins live here now, but during that time they were still in Virginia, and every day, spend whole summers at my cousin's house. Like family was everything, and still is everything to me, for real.
We're gonna kind of transition back. So when you talking about you were living kind of just like in the middle school days, living off that reputation, what were the things that you believe that were changing? Were players getting better, or you just weren't putting in the work?
Both. So in middle school, like growing up, elementary school, I was kind of better than most people, right? Funny story is AAU, right? So I played for a team called Richmond Metro. AAU, we went to Florida for nationals, and we played the Houston Defenders. We played the Houston Defenders. We played the Texas Titans with Julius Randle. And somehow they stole one of our players after the game.
Texas Titans?
Yeah, he moved to Dallas right after the tournament. His name was Jackson Forbes. He was pretty good. I don't know what school he went to. I know he went to some school, but they stole him. Next game we played Houston Defenders. Same bracket. It's crazy.
What grade was this?
I'm not sure.
But it was
I don't want to lie, but it was young. It was either going into middle school or middle school. I want to say it was middle school though. And that's where I seen like, okay, God's good around different parts, and like I'm not just who I think I am.
Yeah.
So that kind of sparked a little fire under me. And then middle school, me kind of wanted to come down here and kind of just lock in for a year. I was initially supposed to lock in for 1 year and then go back. But once I got here, I was like, yeah, I'm staying.
The one thing I do want to ask you about, because we talk about it kind of a little bit off camera. You were 5'2".
Right.
So this is when you got here. So I'm just imagining middle school.
Yeah, for sure.
It had to be like 5 feet. And like I just said, you've always been crafty. You've always been that type of guy that's been like just crafty, be able to do it. So like, I just want to know where was your confidence at? Because to me, you said that you had a reputation, but you were on the shorter side. So it's just more like, even when you knew you had that reputation, and I believe that your confidence was an all-time high, how did you just have that confidence as a small guard?
Right. So my favorite player growing up was Allen Iverson.
The guy.
Also liked Rod Strickland. So East Coast guards, right?
Yeah.
So I always had a pretty good handle. When I was younger, my handle was actually a little bit more flashy than it is when I got older, because I couldn't really score. I would drive, only shoot floaters, and then I would like to pass. So that's what I was known for back in the day. In those days, being smaller, you had to have a crazy handle, and I had that when I was young. So that's what I kind of leaned on.
Now we're gonna transition obviously to the good stuff.
Here we go. Because you was talking crazy, so here we go. Here we go.
8th grade. What's the phone call like between you and Pops to come to Houston?
So I was going to summer school in Virginia to the high school that I was about to go to, Highland Springs High School, which was really good in basketball, especially during that time. Still is today. But my dad called one day. We was eating, I think it was like at Outback or something, eating, just chilling, and he was like, he should come down here for a year. And my mom had said no multiple times before that. And that day, she just was like, all right, you can do it for a year. And I left like the next day, which was the first day of high school. So it was crazy. It was a get off the plane, go straight to the school, get your shots, go to the doctors, get your shots, and then walk into Fort Bend Bush, which to me was like, this is a huge school, a lot of kids, kind of shell shocked, but I was kind of I had the mindset of like, I was here to hoop, so I wasn't trying to make no friends. I wasn't trying to talk to people.
That's that East Coast mentality.
Yeah, so like I didn't really care about too many other people, like where I hoop at, like how do I hoop. And then we got to Bush, and in Virginia is no such thing as basketball class. So when we got to signing up for my classes, they was like, do you want to be in basketball class? And I'm like, yeah. Like I get to go to school and play basketball. That's crazy. So it was a big moment for me in my life. It probably like the shift that I needed in my life. Probably the best decision I probably made ever.
9th grade. You walk in there, 5'2". So I'm gonna kind of go on a limb. I'm guessing like that freshman class was probably like first period or 7th period. 7th period.
7th.
You walk in there. We have guys that went to like Hodges band and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To me, like you said, your mindset was different. So basically, you're probably thinking, who do I have to target to get where I need to go. Talk about as soon as you get into the 7th period class, you nothing but 5'2".
Yes.
You walk up in there.
Yeah.
Was the respect real quick? Like they knew now they know, or was it gradual? Because
It took till we hooped.
okay,
Because I didn't really talk to people, so I'm like, the first couple of weeks you just sitting there in your street clothes. So I'm like, all right, like we gonna see. But once we got the balls rolled out, it wasn't nobody I was targeting, because once we hooped, it was clear. But me, I was more thinking of 5th period. How do I get to 5th period? So
that's big.
That's varsity. So if Coach Courtney was here right now, or anybody from that team, Gat, Jordan, Darius,
Cam,
all of them would tell you I never ate lunch my freshman year. My freshman year, I spent every lunch period watching in the glass for a whole entire year. And that's a fact. You can check that.
No, I believe that. I
believe that.
I'm surprised my boy Travis not here, because he's usually up in here.
You can check that for sure.
So when freshmen, so this is the thing that I kind of want to know, because you said that your work ethic wasn't as high in middle school. Mm-hmm. So like you come in to Bush as a freshman. Obviously, we know that's not the best version of you.
Right.
So, like, how were able to kind of deliver the performances your freshman year, knowing that, like, was it just more like, I'm not trying to even downplay nothing. Was it just more like the freshmen were that bad, or you just knew that, like, you had to be on another level?
So, mind you, I was going to play varsity in Virginia. Like, I wasn't bad.
Okay.
This is when my dad left.
Yeah.
My dad came down here. Then I kind of tapered off. But once I got back here and we was back together, I was back to the gym 2-3 times a day.
It's funny. I still watch the video, that Comcast video with your senior year. Mm-hmm. So I had to go back and watch that a couple of days ago. Like you said, your dad said your work ethic must be better.
Yeah.
yeah. So I went back and actually watched that video probably 2 weeks ago, because I knew I was having you on.
Yeah.
And I said, let me go back and kind of watch this video. But like when they showed that whole story. So just talk about your freshman year, like your freshman year off freshman.
Yeah, it was easy. So I was really shooting whatever I wanted. Yeah. I was doing whatever I wanted. I was averaging high 20s. Like, it was very easy. My goal wasn't freshman basketball. So, like, my goal was always not even JV. So, in Virginia, it's no freshman, sophomore. It's just JV varsity.
Yeah.
So, I'm not thinking JV, because I wasn't going to play JV. So, for me coming here and playing freshman, it's kind of like a smack in the face to me. I'm like, y'all know who I am, like, kind of thing, right? But nobody did, because I was brand new here. So I had to earn it, which was okay with me, because it made me grind that much more. So freshman basketball was it was easy. It was easy.
So talk to this 09, 2010. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you said you didn't eat lunch. So that means 5th period. You were watching guys like Gatlin, Darius Richardson, Jordan Clark, Cam Ridley, Travis Courtney. Talk about what you saw and what you envisioned in yourself in those moments.
In my head, I was like, I could play with them. Like, I should be on this team. That's all I was thinking. Those guys were great though. So that team was a great team.
Yeah. So because I got a kind of a question.
That was a great team.
So this is what I'm gonna ask you, because I've asked Travis Courtney off air. I'm gonna ask you the same question, because my mind is starting to shift. Easy's always gonna say controversial, but now my mind is starting to shift. I think I know you think where I'm going with this.
Yeah, where you going?
2010. George Bush is the state champs of 5A. Mm-hmm. But there's a team in Jack Yates that's the state champs in 4A. That Jack Yates team, the NAC, everybody was calling them the number one team in the country.
That was Snap team?
That was Snap, Joe Young, Big Alex, Clyde Santee was on that team. Just if we were to have that matchup, who are you favoring? And the other reason why I'm asking you that, because obviously you didn't play with them, but you went to Bush, but you know about Yates.
I was with them guys. Like them guys was good, but I don't know about them beating that Yates. That Yates team was crazy.
Yeah.
That Yates team was crazy. Like that was, like I said, I'm when I was my freshman year, I'm not on varsity, so I can go see everybody. So I don't know who anybody is. Mm-hmm. So I'm just by myself out here, really just trying to see what the scenery is in the city. So I had to go to a Yates game.
Yeah, you got to.
And like the atmosphere was different that they had.
Okay. So you know what? I'm gonna actually switch up that question. Do you think Yates would have went undefeated in Fort Bend
that year?
That year.
No, I don't think they would have won undefeated. I think they would have lost a game. Because it's night in and night out. It's too much.
Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. Like
I think they would have lost a game. But then again, man, that's a hard. That team was highly impressive. Like I was really impressed with that team.
Because the only reason why I asked you that, because a lot of the argument that year was who was better, was Bel Air or Yates.
Yeah, and we knocked them off.
Y'all knocked off Bel Air.
Yeah, for
Yates
sure.
Still won. And like I said, I was at the state championship. But I watched both games. I said Yates almost got beat by Lancaster.
Yeah,
but it was
so everybody's beatable. That's why it's a hard thing, because everybody's beatable. But we just have to go off the history. That team didn't lose.
Yeah.
So,
but the thing is, both of y'all won state championships.
Yeah, I think it would have been a game.
Okay.
I don't think they would have won just easily.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to go against that history that they what they did. Okay,
no. Like I said, I just said,
and like those are my guys at my, like I went to school with these guys, so it's hard to.
Yeah.
But I don't have them beating them.
Okay. No, that's respect.
That's an honest answer.
No, the thing is, I used to, for the longest time, I was Yates, until like probably a month ago, I said, I just think, I'm not saying that Yates would win, but the matchups are real favorable.
Yeah.
Because like I just said, Pee Wee versus Travis, Gat and Joe Young, Jordan Clark. Like I feel like
we have guys though.
Yeah, Cam Ridley and Big Alex.
The only thing is Cam was young. Cam wasn't Cam.
He wasn't Cam.
He wasn't Cam that year.
But he wasn't Cam. But you could arguably say like those wings with Gat, Darius, and Jordan.
So So Jordan was like a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Super athletic.
Yeah.
Darius did miss shots.
Yeah.
And then Gat did it all. And that's why that team was so good.
So people have to realize too, I don't think people realize Yates' last loss was to Elsink. I think Gat was on that team.
And what I would say is Gat would have accepted that challenge.
Yeah.
He would have accepted that challenge because that's what he liked to do. He liked that to kind of compete, and I think that would have been a great game. I would have definitely been there front row for sure.
2011, your first year on varsity. Yeah. Still, obviously, you guys are riding high off the defending champs, but it's a whole different team. Talk about your experience your sophomore year as the first year guy on varsity.
So my sophomore year, I really wish Travis was here because he'll really tell you. So my sophomore year, we had Travis and we had Rashard, so two returning guards from the team. But Coach Courtney kind of gave me the keys early.
He gave me the keys.
Like, hey, that he gonna be, it's gonna be him. Whatever he gonna run and one.
Okay.
So even though I came off the bench, I think I played like 28 minutes or some crazy, like some high like that. But it was me trying to learn the landscape. I grew a little bit, of course.
Yeah.
Our first game was against Lamarck.
Julian Lewis.
How
much he gave? He gave Elkins 50.
Something similar.
Okay.
Something very similar.
Okay.
That year was
Shout out Julian.
Man, he was a dog. People don't really talk about him how they should.
I saw it firsthand.
He was a dog.
Yeah, he was a dog.
So, yeah, that was just a learning experience year for me. Just trying to really get my feet wet.
Who did you guys play in the playoffs that year? Because y'all made the playoffs that year.
Yeah, we made the playoffs. We lost early in the playoffs. I think we lost to like Clear or something.
Clear, okay.
Yeah, like a bad game. We thinking we're gonna coast and lost.
Talk about the conversations with you and Coach Courtney. Like like that year, knowing that Coach Courtney, a lot of people will probably call him the Wizards of point guards, because every time you look up, he's gonna have one thing that you can guarantee, that Coach Courtney is always going to have a great point guard, and you're one of the guys that was one of the greats. So just gotta just talk about that.
Coach Courtney's I can only speak from my experience with him. When you first gaining that trust, he's hard on you.
Yeah.
Like my sophomore year, he was, everything I did was, you can't really yell how you yell now. Like it's a different on what's allowed, but the way he used to yell at me was intense, and I think kids nowadays wouldn't be able to take it, but it helped me. It kind of showed me a lot of things, taught me a lot of valuable lessons. But then once my senior year came, he kind of set back. He had coached me in practice, and then he would sit back.
He's doing the leg cross. That's what he's doing right now, Marshall.
Yeah.
He's doing it with them Marshall guys right now. Like,
shout out to Ian. Shout out to Jalen.
Yes, Jalen. Yeah.
I got them over there. You don't even know that.
I believe that, though.
Yeah.
I believe that.
True story.
Because I said I know we're going to talk about the Texas Pro, because I know your coach was Marlon Lowe.
Yeah, so my God.
We're gonna get into that. We are going to get into that. Your junior year, but honestly, I want to transition back to your sophomore year a little bit. Okay. Because a heralded freshman comes in.
Yeah.
In the name of Kelly Oubre.
Yeah.
Kelly Oubre, Philadelphia 76ers right now.
Yeah.
So a heralded freshman walks in to George Bush because it would say you, Cam, and him were probably the marquee names.
Yeah.
At Bush, Travis Courtney was still there. Talk about that experience and seeing his growth, like him as a freshman, because he played varsity.
Yep.
Day one.
Yep.
Yeah. So just talk about that.
So his year was up and down. He went from, he came in with the name and all that good stuff. He came in starting.
Yeah.
Didn't kind of go how he wanted to go all the time. So Coach Courtney, no nonsense. He'll put you on the bench, right? So his freshman year was up and down. He was always good. He was always talented. But more importantly, like, that was my guy.
Yeah.
Like, we hung out every day.
I believe it.
Me, him, and Cam every day was together. So we lived in the same block. We lived like, if I lived right here, he would live at the corner store. Like, and Cam lived 3 houses down from me. So that's kind of how we were. Always at each other's houses. We just was real cool off the court, which helped us on the court.
Now we're going to get to the junior year. Obviously, now it's just more like it's set in stone. And this is where kind of the Jonathan Jordan conversation comes in for me a little bit.
Okay.
You talk about the now it's almost, Fort Bend to me is still at its peak, because like to me is Cam and Kelly at Bush. The Harrison twins are still at Travis doing their thing. Daniel House is and Braylon Addison or at Hightower. And I gotta shout out my boys because I'm an alum. Bradford Jones and Chad Allen.
Yeah, that's my guys, man.
Yeah. Bradford Jones and Chad Allen. I always gotta pump them.
Shout out Texas Pro.
Yes. They're at Elkins. Talk about those kind of bloodbath, because you saw it your sophomore year. That was heat. But your junior year was more responsibility. There's no Travis on your side like, hey, let's go, Shandre. Yeah. You're almost that definitive leader.
Yeah.
Talk about that junior year.
To be honest, I don't really remember my sophomore year because I was just learning.
Yeah.
But my junior year is when I was like, all right, y'all got to deal with me now. So that's kind of where I felt like I took that leap. But that's also where Cam took a leap. And Cam became top 10 in the country that year.
He did. But that was his senior year. But I know 2011, he was the district MVP.
Yeah, he was the district
MVP. But you saying his senior year, it was personal?
Senior year, he was so much better his senior year. But he also got more attention his senior year.
Houston Hoop Stars.
Yeah,
Aaron
so
Dudley,
he
Coach
was
Keith White,
exactly.
Yeah.
So we also had another guy named Chris Hall.
Chris Hall. Okay.
He played for the Hoop Stars.
Okay.
The district didn't let him play.
Oh. So you know what playoff game I want to talk about your junior year against Hightower.
Hold on, before we get there, you want to talk about the district, right?
Yeah.
So we played your boys Elkins, right? So
Yes.
me and Cam had to take a
SAT.
Yep.
I've heard this story.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We had to take the ACT. We didn't even know we had to take the ACT. They signed us up for it. We took it. So for mid tournament, we're losing to Elkins,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But me and Cam come at halftime
Yeah.
to standing ovation.
The Saviors.
A standing ovation, and we for sure won that game for sure.
So just
Just to let you know
Hey,
that
listen,
it was a stacked conference, but we felt like we was the best in the conference the whole time.
the whole time.
Whole time. So you got also another fun fact is we lived down the street from Travis.
Yeah.
Me, Kelly, and Cam could have went to Travis.
Oh yeah, but you guys didn't want that.
That would have been crazy.
Even though it would have been crazy.
Yeah, but like that's why our rivalry with them was so
So personal. It was basketball, but from the videos, it looked personal.
it was personal.
It was okay.
When we seen them at parties and or just anywhere, like it was kind of like we mugging them, they mugging us, but I didn't even know them at all. But that's kind of just because of how it was. Like we got police escorts to that game.
Oh yeah, I see the line.
Yeah.
I see the line every time Travis plays Bush. It was standing like get your ticket to come early.
Yeah, for sure.
No. But so the Jonathan Jordan thing, obviously.
Yeah, I know you want to get to it. That's your guy. That's my guy too, though.
No.
That's my guy.
Know. So I think this is my.
I got a hot take for you too.
No. Before you get to the hot take, I got you. So this is what I'm kind of feeling with John. I'll look back. Because shout out Coach Gabe. I know that Shandre is the district MVP in 2013. I just feel, personally for me, I believe that he was the best player at Hightower his senior year. I believe he was the best player at Hightower.
Better than House.
I believe he was the best player.
That's 2012, right?
2011. Your sophomore year.
Oh, my sophomore year.
2011. I believe he was the best player at Hightower his senior year. I believe
Was that Jonathan Jordan's senior year, 2011?
Yes, 2011.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go because I hate to say this because you're so great. I would say this. Damn. You got that district MVP. Well earned and well deserved.
I lost 2 games my senior year, just so you know.
No. I get that. But hold on. This is where I'm going with it. I have to go back and do my research and think of my research. Right. To me, your year, your district MVP year, I think to me it was about one team to you guys. I don't think the district was as strong your senior year. Jonathan Jordan, all his years, that district was strong. You played still in a strong district, but 2013, we all know it was about 2 teams. It was Travis.
It was 2 teams in the state.
But it was Travis and Bush.
It was us and them in the state, though. Like nobody, like people knew that whoever won, which one of us wins, that was who was going.
Yeah, so I just feel like Jonathan's road was just a little tougher than yours.
I don't think Jonathan Jordan was the best guard on their team. We were more cautious about Braylon.
They're not going to do this.
I'm telling you.
Shandre, we can't do this right now.
First of all, John's my guy, right?
Yes.
But we know what John's going to do. Braylon affected the game more.
Defensively.
Everything, his energy, his presence there was different.
Not the what?
Think about it. Think about it. He disrupted games.
It's
Can you argue that?
No, I don't. BA is other than him and Derek Griffin are the two top football athletes I've ever seen in my life. And like if I have to go to high school, it's them two. I'm not gonna dispute that. But
I'm not gonna say he was better than John.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like, as far as impacting the game, because as you know, John will chill. And he'll be kind of, he'll get to his spots and then he'll kind of coast around a little bit. But Braylon was full.
But do you believe that was more John or more Coach Green? Because
I don't know that dynamic over there.
Okay.
So all I can do is, from my perspective, we were more concerned about, okay, is Braylon playing? Because at some point he wasn't playing.
Because football, he was taking deep runs in the playoffs.
Right. And then like he was taking little lulls off until he got back right. So once he came back, every year, they were a whole different team every time.
But
you can't argue that.
No. I can't argue that. And the reason why I'm not going to argue that, because you're right. But I just think, like, I watched the Your Perspective podcast. Shout out Winston and Dot doing a great job. They had Braylon as a guest. Braylon's whole thing was like easy. No, his whole thing, what he said was he was fine playing that role. Like he said, I had to play third guy. If we wanted to get there, I had to play third guy. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But like John Jordan.
John was cold.
Yes.
John was cold. He still is cold.
Yes.
All I'm saying is, as far as the impact, when Braylon came back, that team was different every time.
I believe that.
They were so much better.
So are you saying that when we transition to the junior year playoff experience?
Yeah, for sure. We should have won that game. We missed free throws to win the game. It's not like they just beat us.
No, but the thing about
we lost the game. Cam fouled out. I got double teamed to get the ball out of my hands.
Is that a game that's still haunts you right there?
Yes. I would say so, because I feel like we could have. We could have made a run that year, and I could have had 2 cracks at it.
Because Hightower was a team that went to state.
Yeah.
Because Aaron, he says he chooses you. He said his quote is more like he believed that Jonathan was a good player, but you were going at him. Jonathan,
for sure.
It was almost like they're playing the Hightower way.
That's what I'm saying. So like that's why, in my opinion, that's why I think Braylon was more of a impact player for them, because he did what he did. Like when he came back, he was pressing. Well, nobody else really pressing. Like he was doing other things that like made his impact.
But because honestly, you kind of answered it, because like it's just more like, but can't you say the same if Jonathan wasn't there, but you guys played him without Jonathan in the playoffs? So like I kind of get where you're coming from, because I was just like, I can't really use that argument, because like they would.
It was different.
Okay.
It was different. But as far as if our coach would have said hold the ball, I'm not holding the ball.
I don't think Coach Courtney's never even said
No. Only time he's ever told me hold the ball was against Travis. 40 seconds left. We down 1. Like, you shoot the last shot. We gonna win or lose with your shot. That's the only time he's ever told me hold the ball. Other than that, I'm not holding the ball. What? That don't even sound right.
Can we talk about senior year?
What you want to talk about?
Senior year, 2013. You almost win almost every award imaginable in this city. Coach Gabe tells me, he puts on my Instagram, you guys can't forget, he beat the Harrison Twins 3 times his senior year, 3 times in a game winner. I told Aaron this. I said this. I said, it really, really looked like they were coasting through the regular season because they know what happened to them the year before about getting to state. But once it came to the playoffs, it was time to turn it up.
Nah. They played our games. Our games was different. Like, they not coasting through our games. I would say everybody else probably cool.
Okay.
Because they was cool.
Okay.
Also, everybody else, I feel like was like they said, I think everybody else was kind of scared of them. We weren't scared of them. So, like, our games was different. Our games was more intense. Our game was, they couldn't coast through our games.
Talk about but talk about that year that you had, because to me, it was actually one of the most special years. Like obviously, like you won All-State, District MVP, like awards through like Houston Chronicle Player of the Year and stuff like that. Talk about that year in a sense on what kind of mission that you're on, because I believe 2013, they had actually a loaded point guard class led by you and the number one point guard in the country, Andrew. I still remember Robert Hatter, midfield at Bel Air. My favorite point guard actually out of that class was Shawndre Jones from Elsik. I loved his game, the point guard from Elsik. So just talk about those point guards in 2013, because I feel like that was one of actually the best point guard classes.
Isaiah Taylor.
Oh, and shout out my boy Kerry Green. He got you. You see, you're senior year 2.
Who was Kerry Green?
Kerry Green from Elkins.
Oh yeah. Kerry. Yeah. They beat us. That was only my senior year. We lost 5 games. We was 32-5.
Yeah.
The first 3 games we lost, I was hurt. McDonald's tournament.
Yeah.
I was hurt. Didn't get to play.
Yeah.
And we were struggling during that time, right? And then once I came back, we lost 1 game to Elkins, and then in the playoffs. Yeah. So it wasn't much losing going on.
Yeah, y'all wasn't.
The only thing that was kind of happening was Coach Courtney would kind of have to tell us like, hey, stay focused, like don't let up, because we was like everything was kind of, we never felt threatened by anybody but one team. So we really thought we was winning state. In my mind, we was winning state.
Yeah.
Kelly mind, we winning state.
Yeah.
Because it kind of got easier once Cam left, to be honest.
Ooh, because the paint and like
nobody clogging it up now. So me and Kelly, like, it's our time. Like we running dribble drive, motion. I score, Kelly score. I score, Kelly score. Kelly started to come into his own a little bit. He got a little older. Fun fact: before that year, he was gonna leave that year, but that was my guy, so he stayed. He was like, I'll leave after you. So we both felt like it was our senior year. So we would do everything as it was our senior year. He went to prom. Like, he did everything as if it was his senior year because he already knew he was leaving.
So how much did that mean to you for him to stay?
Yeah, that was my guy. So our relationship was, in practice, we would always be on opposite teams so we could guard each other. Like, type of thing. Like, he would always, his motivation was whoever was above him in the ESPN rankings, and my motivation was more of making sure I got my respect in the city. Because back home, people knew who I was, but I wanted to make sure in Houston, people was like, okay, like, he can hoop.
How much better did you guys get each other during that time?
Oh, crazy. We literally spent every hour that we could in the gym. Coach Courtney kind of opened the gym for us anytime we wanted to. So we would stay after school, work out. Then we would go to 24-hour fitness, work out. And then we would go to practices. Like, he would go to hoops, I would go to Texas Pro. And we would just do this daily from the end of my junior year to my senior year.
Let's transition to Texas Pro. Houston AAU basketball team, coached by one of the best coaches that I've ever seen around the country.
Yes, sir.
In Maryland Low. You know, like, I think you saw it probably last week. I posed in 2011 who was the best AAU team in the city. Was it the Houston Hoop Stars? Was it the Houston Hoops? Was it the Defenders? Or was it Texas Pro? Obviously, Texas Pro was new, but the guys that you had in Isaiah Austin, Emmanuel Moutier, Chance Allen, Bradford Jones, Chicken, Josh Gray play.
TJ.
TJ Rose.
Yeah.
Shout out my boy TJ.
House.
Daniel House.
Yeah.
Like, all those guys played. Talk about
me. I was on that team.
They told me that you were actually playing with that. You played up with them in some tournaments. Talk about those competitive days playing for Texas Pro at that time.
So those days were another learning experience for me. So that's why I got a lot of my confidence from the summertime, and that summertime confidence translates to school time. So D House will tell you, it was a couple times when I used to play with them where these guys are at this point. They already who they are. Like
Yes.
they are killing now.
Yes.
D House got his mixtapes and all that
Yes.
going on.
Yeah,
Like
going to Duncanville and dunking on people.
So
yes.
like these guys are almost established now who they are, and their rankings going up. And Low would be like, hey, if they don't catch your pass, I expect you to chew. You know what I'm saying? Chew them out. Pause. So I would have to yell. I would have to basically be a point guard, right? And that's kind of where I got my, it don't matter who you are, like, if you messing up, I gotta kind of get you back on track type of mentality from that team.
How did that start with you going to Texas Pro? Because obviously, like you said, you're not from here. So how did you find Marlon Lowe, or how did Marlon Lowe find you?
So Lowe found me from Rossi Karen.
Coach Rossi, shout out Coach Rossi.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's my guy. So when I first moved down here, I don't know if you remember League of America.
Yes, in the Woodlands.
It's by Memorial.
Okay.
Yeah, by Memorial. So what I would do was, my dad would just have me hooping everywhere. So I would hoop in like just anywhere I could. And throughout that, I played in this little tournament. Team needed one, so I played, was killing. Coach Rossi seen me. He was just starting basketball university. Said, come on, play with my team. Since you don't have nobody, cool. So I played with his team, and then we end up turning into Texas Pro 16s with Lowe having the 17s. Yeah. So that's kind of how it started.
Oh.
And then once I was playing for the 16s, Lowe would be like, you coming up with me this weekend. And that's how I started playing for both.
How did that help your leadership, knowing that those are guys that are established, but you have to kind of, keep them in line and kind of, that you're personally responsible and stuff like this. So just talk about how that kind of, exuberate your leadership skills.
It molded my leadership skills. It molded me to having like a no nonsense policy, no matter who you are, as far as your name, right? Mm-hmm. We in this 94 feet. It doesn't matter who you are. You got to just play the right way and bring your game, pretty much, not your name.
So how does that transition into your senior year as holding guys accountable? Obviously, it's you and Kelly at the forefront and Coach Courtney. It starts with y'all three. Whatever happens in that Bush season, they're going to look at you three. Coach Courtney, Shawndre Jones, Kelly Oubre. So what was the accountability that you were holding everybody to that year?
If you want me to be honest with you, the way me and Kelly held each other accountable kind of made it so we didn't have to hold the rest of the team accountable.
Talk about that.
So me and Kelly used to get into real live arguments, almost turning into fights daily. Also, I hung with him outside of basketball, so we was together all day. I would come get him out of class, like different things like that. So like we was together throughout the most of the day, and then in practice we wasn't on each other's teams, so we talking. And then during the game, I shoot a bad shot, he yelling at me. He shoot a bad shot, I'm yelling at. So our dynamic kind of trickled through the team, where our coach would let us do it, and then if somebody else did something and we said something, they would have to just fall in line and kind of listen.
What makes Coach Courtney so special?
He's able to get the most out of his players. Okay. That style has kind of changed throughout the years with the times, but the way he's able to kind of get the best out of his players, I would say.
You say it changed with the times, but he still got Marshall, the #1 team in the state, 26-2. So he's done it almost in 3 different decades.
Yeah.
Like here, Willow Ridge just unmatched with you guys now with Marshall. So like his ability to adapt, how does he kind of do it?
I don't know. That's the $1 million question. I mean, if anybody knew that, then everybody be doing what he's doing. All I can do is tell people. For example, when Lowe was thinking about bringing Jalen to Marshall, called me like, hey, what do you think about me going over to taking Jalen over to Marshall with Coach Courtney? And I told him, hey, look, probably one of the best coaches I've ever had. He gon' test them at first, but once Jalen shows that he is who he's supposed to be, Coach Courtney will kind of give him the keys, and you saw he did that. And kind of the same with Ian right now. So Coach Courtney has that ability to bring the best out of point guard specifically.
The same question but what makes Marlon Lowe so special?
Low is different because Low kind of connects to you on a personal level, right? So Low is like a guy where anytime I see him, big smiles. Anytime you see any Texas Pro guys around, we talk highly about Low. That's just because that's how the family environment that we kind of had during those times specifically. And he even got out there with us playing wise.
That's when he hurt his Achilles.
That's when he hurt his Achilles. Yeah, so he kind of showed and proved like, hey, this how y'all ain't. And he kind of think about it. He brought the media.
Yeah, he did.
He was a pioneer with that.
Yeah,
having Mo come out.
Yeah,
and high school hopefuls and having them travel, and that was different for them times.
Yeah,
it wasn't everybody getting mixtapes at that time.
Can you talk about the impact of both of those men? How they had you off the court as growing into a young man?
For sure. So those times at AAU, you're away from your parents, you're away from your family. It's just you, your teammates, and your coaches, right? So it's a lot of valuable lessons that get taught throughout those times and those summer months. So Low also instilled in me kind of some work ethic, right? So we seeing point guards and he like, you know he going to such and such and such. You know he going to such and such and such. You play him tonight, how you gonna act? Kind of deal. So just some toughness for sure.
Last game, Bush versus Travis, your last game of your illustrious high school career. It comes down to you and Kelly versus the twins, but we're going to just say Travis versus Bush. They get the best of you walking off that court at the Aldine Campbell Center. What was your feelings?
I'm not going to lie, I was hurt just because of everything I did that year.
Yes.
And it kind of felt like a waste, right?
Why that way?
Because to me, I had one goal. My goal was to win state. I seen them win state my freshman year, and I wasn't a part of it, so my goal was to get us back. I know it was me and Kelly's last ride. Nobody else on the team kind of knew Kelly was leaving, but I knew he was leaving. Get one with my partners, right? People that I kind of grew my high school years with, kind of developed with as far as my game, who I was as a person at that time. And it was gonna mean a lot for us to get a state championship that year.
One last question on there. If you look back on that game, one thing that you would change?
It's one shot in particular.
Talk to me, because everybody remembers the shot.
It's one shot in particular. We were making a run.
Yes.
And a teammate of mine.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say his name.
Okay.
A teammate of mine, though. Me and Kelly started cooking.
Yes.
Teammate of mine took a ill-advised shot.
Was it a three?
I don't remember what it was. I remember who it was. I remember how he shot it, and I remember like the deflation of our team after he missed it, and they went down. And I think they might have got an and one or a dunk or something. And
game changers.
It hurt when you go on that run. Your two guys got to have the ball. So him shooting that shot kind of deflated us, and then twins kept getting to the line, and it was over. It's hard to beat them 4 times in a row.
No, it is. It is.
Like it's damn near impossible to beat a team like that 4 times
because
in a row.
I interviewed Andrew like during COVID, and I asked him about that game, and he said, "You know what, Easy, I can't sit here and lie.
Yeah,
I hopped on the bus, and I told myself, I'm not losing today. I'm not losing to him today." Those were his words to me. He was like, "I'm not losing to them today."
Man, especially in high school, them guys was good.
Yeah, no,
they still can hoop now, but those guys like back then. I can't speak for not us, but I would see other people talk about them, and like people were actually afraid of them.
So.
Not us, obviously.
No. Because I want to get back, because obviously you've been watching the video.
Yeah, for sure.
So like this whole, but like we saw D'Angelo though too.
D'Lo my guy. So like D'Lo's my guy, right?
Yes.
But especially my years. I can only speak for my years.
Yes.
we weren't really thinking about like Dulles was. We knew D'Lo was gonna have a good game, but cool.
Okay.
So, in that argument of who was being afraid of a basketball player is crazy anyway in general.
Okay.
So I don't subscribe to that.
Yeah.
But in your context, what you're trying to say, I would have to go with the Twins because in our years,
yes,
like my freshman year, D'Lo and them had a good team and like formidable opponents.
Yes.
Once I got into the mix, D'Lo gonna have a great game, cool, but that's it. Like we wasn't worried about losing to them, and mind you, we tried winning to them.
Yeah, everybody did.
Yeah, we tried winning to them, but then that's it. Like we didn't wake up like I already played Dulles today.
I didn't say. I think people are trying to. I said y'all didn't wake up and play Dulles. Y'all woke up and played D'Angelo. There's a difference. I said D'Angelo's senior year team. It was.
But like I agree.
Yes.
So you wake. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
right.
yes.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
But when we played the Twins, it's like, oh, we have a game tonight. Like during school, I'm skipping. I'm going to I'm getting shots up that day.
But the thing is, like I said, I'm not taking anything away from. Like I told Aaron, and I'm going to tell you, you guys had the better team, but like the player, like he won 20 games with that squad.
I agree.
He won 6 district games with that squad.
I agree, but like it wasn't against us. Like it wasn't against our teams. It might have been probably like Clements.
But he actually beat Elkins twice.
Beat Elkins, but that's more of a rivalry for him, so that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But then like when it came to us and I guess Travis and probably I don't think they beat Hightower.
No.
Yeah, so like we wasn't worried about losing to Dulles.
So because what
we knew D'Lo was gonna get 30 though. Cool.
But I guess what I'm saying is I believe that he was the best individual player. You're saying the Twins, like I said. You're saying the Twins, like I told Aaron. I said I love y'all, but you guys are always gonna be a package deal. When we talking about individual, like yo.
But also you gotta get. See, this is why I feel I stay quiet on most of these conversations.
I know you do.
Right, and I see like around Houston basketball, people don't tend to like to give the Twins credit.
I always give the Twins credit. I always give them credit.
But D'Lo was him for real.
Yes.
He was him for real, but he
Yes.
also had to be him to even make it respectable. He had to shoot the ball that many times to make it respectable. Even though he was always efficient, but he had to if he didn't do that, they were gonna lose every game by 30.
But I even told Aaron, even though he wasn't there, to his credit, I told Aaron, I still believe his junior year when he had a formidable team, he was the best player in the district.
That team was good that year.
No, his team was good. But
That team was good that year.
His team was good because even though Bush knocked him out in the playoffs in the 3rd round, but I still believe his junior year he was the best player in the district.
His junior year was what, my sophomore year?
Your freshman year.
My freshman year? See, I don't know. I don't know. So I can't speak on that. I can just speak on my years when I played.
Well, of course, I said like 12 and 13. Like I said, it was all you guys.
I don't really remember too much from my sophomore year because I was super locked in on just me.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really thinking about anybody else.
Yeah. No, but Twins, you know I respect you guys. I'm always gonna.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. People like those games against Travis.
Yeah.
It's like a week thing. It's like homecoming.
Yeah.
Like y'all know y'all got Travis this week, or like even it wasn't like that for Hightower either. To be honest, for Hightower it was kind of like, all right, y'all. Well, I knew, Kelly knew, but
I think it was like it was you and Travis on that side. It was Elkins and Hightower on the other side. So the way y'all thought of Travis and Bush, our side it was Elkins and Hightower.
Even though my loss to Elkins my senior year, Coach Courtney was mad because he was like, y'all not locked in for this game. Like y'all are just thinking everything is gonna be easy until y'all get to that one team. So like we had lulls because like you said, our senior year, we wasn't really worried about nobody else but one team.
Yeah. Like I said, and that's what I felt like. I was just like,
We wasn't worried about nobody else but one team. But that one team was good. But I still feel like we was the better team. To be honest,
if you play that game, well, you did beat them 3 out of 4. So I said, if you play that game,
75%. We won. Like, it's hard to sweep people.
You know what it is?
It's hard to sweep people. To your argument though, to your D-Lo and she argument.
Oh man.
I think during that time, if the twin didn't have his brother, I think the argument is a little different.
Yeah.
I do. I think he gets points taken off because of it's 2 of them, like you said. And I think that in a lot of arguments that they do that. But also, I think people forget about Sheldon. Sheldon was cold too.
No, he was. Him and Julian.
I feel like people don't give them enough respect around the city.
I don't know. I agree.
I got a question for you.
So yes.
That same time period, right?
Yes.
Those same years.
Yes.
Who's your top 5 point guards from that time period? Our high school years.
Like, when you talk, what year am I starting from?
You can start from 11.
11.
Start from after my sophomore year. My sophomore year.
So that's the 2010.
So LJ, Anthony Collins.
Okay, I'm gonna put Andrew at 1. I'm gonna put Andrew at 1. I'll go LJ at 2. I'll take you at 3. I'll go Anthony Collins at 4. And at 5. What year am I stopping at?
13.
13? Throw some names out there because I said I always.
So look, I set him up, right?
Isaiah Taylor
for sure.
Yes.
I set him up, right? So the same guy that just told me that John Jordan was better than me didn't put him in his top 5.
You still did, though. You did.
How does that make sense?
I would say this, Shawndre, because this is how I think this is how I'm gonna have to kind of maneuver this. I think career-wise, when it's said and done, I think like you probably have the edge. You have the edge career-wise, but I kind of look at it in a sense more like. I look at it in a sense.
You was them your partners, right?
No, those my partners, and I look at it in
me
a
too.
sense.
Them my guys too.
I said I look at it in a sense that, like I said, I really believe your senior year, it was about one team.
I'm gonna let you know this though. It don't matter who was there my senior year. I was gonna do that.
So you
regardless.
really think that 2011 year, when all those, if you look at the team, no, 2010,
I'm gonna tell you why though. After like my summer, were like my EYBL summer.
Okay.
With me and Isaiah, together in the backcourt, which was crazy.
Yes.
Me, Isaiah,
TJ,
Emmanuel Moutier.
Yeah.
Like after that, and then like we kind of elevated. We started getting our offers. Like everything started to actually click. That next year, like high school basketball
was easy.
I said that in a video.
You did.
There's a video. I was like, I can't wait to go back to school. Like I'm playing against Andrew Wiggins and Jabari Park. Like these are guys I'm matching up with now. Like so, when I go back and play, bro, from down the like,
Cook.
Yeah,
that's what I hear. Was kind of just saying like high school was easy.
Especially that year. That year was easier for me than the other years.
You know what? Because there's a lot of guys that chose you. People would say that I'm crazy. There's a lot of guys that chose you, but I would say the people that I've asked that didn't choose you, I do kind of account the fact I don't think they caught you at your senior year. They like there's 2011 guys that we didn't catch them though. But like I knew how good you were.
Yeah.
But I kind of think about it too, because like I said, just like how you kind of made the argument for Braylon, I just said, what if John was in the same position as you? But then I had to take into account something that you said. When Cam left, it got easy.
Yeah.
So like if Cam was not in the middle like for 2 or 3 years, it probably would have been a little different for you.
Yeah.
Too. It still would have been different.
Whole time though, my junior year I was cooking.
Yes.
My junior year I was cooking.
Yeah.
Because Cam would have hard times with like Travis.
Yeah.
So those games I would cook.
Okay.
Right? But a regular game, Cam's gonna get 30 and 20.
30 and 20. McDonald's all day. Yeah.
Why would I not throw it down there? Then I gotta make sure Kelly happy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then I gotta sprinkle in my 15.
Yeah. I got you. When it transitioned, when it came down to going to college and choosing a college, you chose Richmond. You chose to eventually go on. Mm-hmm. What was that feeling like, knowing that you have an free education paid for, knowing that you the ultimate goal of Division I basketball?
Right. So like, would you ever go back to like BCU or Richmond? And originally I was like, no. Right? Because I never wanted to go back home. And then once I started going on visits, I took the Richmond visit strictly because my mom and my family was still there. So just to show them how a visit goes and all that good stuff. And my mom started crying like on the visit. So I committed early from that moment. I was like, yeah, I'm coming back. Just so she could see me play basketball. She loves basketball as well. My little brother plays basketball right now. He plays for Christopher Newport University. But so my family is a sports family. My mom is a sports mom. And I just wanted to give her the opportunity to be able to see like what I was going to become and what I was going to do. Because I always had confidence in myself. Then once I got there and seen kind of the history of guards, smaller guards, I was able to kind of fit the mold.
Talk about for the younger generation that's trying to earn basketball scholarships. You're a guy that's kind of just went through all the trials and the tribulations, especially as a small girl. Can you kind of describe to the younger viewers on what does it take to kind of be?
You got to do more. So I would say you got to do more than everybody else, right? So you got to impact the game. You got to be able to lead. You got to be able to be really an extension of the coach. Especially nowadays, you got to guard 94 feet nowadays for sure. Especially as a smaller guard with the way basketball is going, with all the length and the 3 and D. You got to be able to guard. You got to be able to score at all levels, and you got to be able to really control the game for sure.
Talk about the educational piece, because a lot of people really don't get that, because you're doing great things, not just on the court, but outside the court. Just being able to have like that mentality and that intellect, and especially as an African-American male,
right?
Just talk about that importance.
So I always had pretty good grades. Even at Bush, I think I had like a 3.5, 3.6. So like school was always kind of easy to me. It's kind of natural. But especially now, being an adult and seeing the impact that education has, University of Richmond is a highly prestigious educational school.
Yes. So
that was also a part of that reason I went there. And then now I have AOC outreach services with
talk about that.
with Mr. Adrian Johnson, who is also like my family. So we have the mental health and behavioral health outpatient company here in Houston, Texas, and in San Antonio, helping children ages 3 to 17 with mental health, behavioral health disorders with our outpatient services. So we're just trying to give back and reach the community as best as I can, right? So it goes beyond basketball with helping people. Basketball was my tool to kind of show me around the world, but I think my bigger calling is kind of helping the community and making the community a better place.
Right now, I'm in education. I actually teach. Talk about the mental health aspect aspect of these young kids. And your younger children, and you go up to 17. So these are guys that are going to be adults soon. What is your advice to them when it comes to mental health?
My advice is pay attention to it. Mental health, especially in your adolescent years, really shapes who you are as a person. From traumas to things you see that you may not realize is affecting you later on in life. Therapy, I would say go to therapy. Therapy is kind of has a stigma to it, a negative connotation to it, but it's needed. I go to therapy. I think everybody needs therapy. And the way we kind of present our therapy is not traditional. We kind of use a mentorship type of approach, holistic type approach to kind of reach and teach kids and give kids the skills they need to become a better individual.
How important has that your company makes sure growing young kids and dealing with mental health, how important has that been to you personally?
It's been super important. So my goals and my admiration changes from growing up. It was all like me. How do I get to the next level? How do I get to the league? How do I make the most money playing basketball? To when we started it, 2019, it changed to, okay, how can we help these kids, right? How can we make the younger generation better human beings than the generation that came before it? Right, so that's where I'm at with life right now. Kind of just trying to set the stage and kind of lead the way as far as the stigma of mental health and kind of taking that negative connotation away from it and turning it to something that's visible. People see it. I think kids need this for sure today, especially like in the sports world where people are transferring every year. Like we didn't have that.
Yeah.
That's making kids soft.
Yes.
It's making everything soft. Like you could just leave.
Yes.
When things get tough, how's that gonna help you when you get to adult life when you gotta pay bills, and how's that gonna help you?
And I was gonna transition into that as my next question. Your opinion on the state of high school basketball.
It's tough for me to say because I came in not knowing the school I was going to was gonna be good at sports, right? So if I would have had that mindset, I would have left after my freshman year. Right? But instead I stuck it out, grind. If every time things get difficult, people can just leave, then nobody will be able to overcome an obstacle.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and that's what ALC stands for. It stands for adapt, overcome, and conquer. Because in life, those are the three main things you gotta do. You gotta adapt to your situation, you gotta overcome different circumstances, and then you gotta conquer those circumstances. So that's kind of where our core beliefs stem from.
Talk about your pro experiences. Like obviously, like I said, you were in the G League. Just talk about that, just that transition, stuff like that.
So I went overseas my first couple years, and then of course everybody want to try the G League out, right? So tried the G League out, and then in 2019 COVID came, and that's when we started the mental health business. So I've had offers to go back overseas, but it's too far for me to kind of be hands-on with the mental health stuff and be all the way overseas. So that's why I chose to stay in the G League. But the G League is a great experience, but for people who think that players in the G League are trash, everybody in the G League can hoop. Everybody in the G League was the second or third or first option on their college team. It's all about the opportunities given. It's all about the politics of the game that you will learn when you get older. That it's not just if you can hoop or not. Some people got some power behind their names or behind their school they went to, and they get an E10 and they got to play the minutes. You might have 30 for 2 weeks straight. When that E10 come back or that two-way come back, come on, sit next to me.
I got you.
Yeah, so you learn that.
We're almost wrapping up, and we're kind of end things with quick hitters. Top 5 teammates you've ever played with?
Ever?
I'm
going to go Kelly Cam. I'm going to go Jared Harper.
Auburn
point guard.
Okay.
Cold. I'm gonna go Derek Walton. My guy D Walt.
Okay.
I need one more. Oh, that's tough. Quietly. Ty Jerome.
Ty Jerome from Virginia. Yeah, he was good.
Ty Jerome is nice.
Okay.
I think he had 30 last night for Cleveland.
Oh.
Quietly. Nice. It's some more guys, I just can't think of it, but those are my guys.
In your era in Fort Bend, you're the point guard. Give me 4 other guys you're running with.
I'm going Cam.
Cam Ridley.
I'm going Cam at the 5.
Yes.
Me at the 1, obviously. I'm going Kelly at the 3.
Kelly at the 3.
I'm going House at the 2.
House at the 2.
And then I'm going I need a dog, so I'm going Chance at the 4.
Chance Allen?
I'm going Chance at the 4 just to do all the dirty work. We're not losing no games with that 5.
Who do you have today? Eagles or Commanders?
I might put D-Lo. I might go small. I might go small.
Yeah, go ahead.
I might go small. I might go me at the 1, D-Lo at the 2.
Okay.
Kelly at the 3, House at the 4, Cam at the 5.
No Harrison twins?
I feel like if I take one, I gotta take the other. Feel me?
I feel you.
I feel like if I take one, I gotta take the other.
Who do you have today? Eagles or Commanders?
From Virginia, so I'm going Commanders. Even though I'm a Steeler fan, but I'm going Commanders.
Chiefs or Bills?
I don't bet against Pat Mahomes.
So who's your eventual Super Bowl champion?
Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes? Is he better than Tom Brady?
Pat Mahomes is a generational talent.
That's not the question I asked. Is he better than Tom Brady?
I'm not putting no one above Tom Brady.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's all I needed to know.
Don't ever say that John Jordan over me if you don't put him in your top 5 and you put me in your top 5.
I would say, listen.
Too late. It's too late. It's too late. But shout out Isaiah Taylor, though.
Shout out.
Isaiah Taylor don't get enough credit as far as guards in Houston.
5 best musicians right now.
I'm going Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
That's my favorite rapper of all time, so I'm going Jay-Z.
Okay.
You mean just as far as the ability or who I like the most?
Who do you like the most?
I'm going Jay-Z, Future.
Okay.
I'm going Boss Man D-Lo.
Boss Man D-Lo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going who else I'm going? I'm gonna go Leon Thomas.
Leon.
Yeah, we're gonna mix it up. I'm gonna go Leon Thomas, and then I'm gonna go Babyface Ray.
Babyface Ray.
You know, I lived in Detroit for a little while, so I'm gonna go Babyface Ray. That's who I listen to the most right now. Those 5.
One coach, game on the line, who to give the clipboard to Marlon Lowe or Ronnie Courtney.
Lowe gonna draw an actual play up. Coach Courtney gonna give me the ball at half court, go score. So I'm going with Coach Courtney.
I like that.
I'm going with Coach Courtney.
And I think my last question, rate your experience on the easy corner.
It was good, man. I thought he was gonna ask me some more controversial questions, but he kept it safe because I was ready to. All your controversial points, I was ready to dissect.
Controversial. Well, no, I think what you answered them because I said I asked you about the Yates and the Bush. I asked you about the D'Angelo. I don't think I say as much things that is controversial as everybody thinks. I just feel like I go
to your Fox point too. You know we played Fox my senior year.
Hey, listen, that don't count. Listen, De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is the player of the decade. He is the player.
I give you that. I agree. I agree.
No, but I'm not talking about just NBA wise. Like high school.
High school, I agree too.
Yes.
But just so you know, he had 50, and then came in there and played us.
He was a freshman.
Yeah.
He was a freshman.
I'm just letting you know. It's very different.
That's because honestly, if you ask,
that's my guy though.
The thing is, you asked me earlier about 11 to 14, but if you telling me my top 5 point guards of the decade, you might be like a 6 or 7.
Okay.
If you give me, if you say top 5 point guards of the decade, that's different. That's different.
Okay.
Because I said I gave.
Yeah, who you got?
Okay. I think I've done this with before. Okay. Let me see. I have to. We're going from 2010 to 2020. 2010 to 2020 of the decade.
Yeah, no, all time.
All
No,
time.
we can do 2020. We can do that.
2010 to 2020.
Just so you know, once I left here, I didn't really know who else was.
Okay, no. I got you. Because and that's the thing. So I'll probably got Fox at 1. That's
You can't argue Fox at 1.
Fox at 1. I go Andrew at 2.
Okay.
I think Andrew at 2. And I'm talking about high school.
High school.
So we're not gonna.
We're just talking about high school.
Okay. My boy Kendrick Davis. I don't.
He played with Low.
Yeah, he played with Low. I
heard great things about him. So
he got to go 3. At 4. Hey, 4. Or JJ Caldwell. I think
JJ.
He was.
JJ was nice.
He was nice. 5. You know what? I'll take that back because I think that you actually gonna crack the 5 because like I'm having it's almost a debate between you and Xavier Wheeler because I saw both of y'all in high school.
That's my guy too.
I saw both of y'all in high school.
Yeah.
So like I can give you the edge over Xavier. I'll go.
Shout out to Xavier too.
Yeah. So you're at 5. Xavier's at 6.
I still don't see John Jordan.
You gotta.
I'm just letting you know that your argument every time you argue something.
Listen.
And then we go to another list.
Okay, so
it doesn't make sense.
So I'm saying this. Only reason why I felt like I had John Jordan over you because I always believed he was the best player on a team that got to the championship. For real, I said, and this is what I said. He got a job done that you didn't get. That you didn't do.
Did they win state?
They didn't win state.
So he did the same thing.
But listen, he went to state.
But did he win state?
Hold on, let me keep going. He went to state. I said, even though Aaron will tell me, and it's true, that he didn't play, he beat Travis in the regional finals. You didn't get the job done against Travis in the regional finals.
If we'd have stalled, we'd have did the same thing.
Oh my God, here we go.
The difference is we wasn't ducking no smoke.
But I don't think they dug no. And the thing is, people.
And we lost the hot tower one of my years in the playoffs.
Yes.
So like me and John,
yeah.
Like I kick it with John, but I just don't think that we were the same.
But I think people forget too. He had 20 on Marcus Smart. He had the 20. Even though they lost.
We're not saying he's nice.
Yeah.
Like what he does, he's nice. Like he is a very good basketball player for sure. Mm-hmm. I just don't think we was the same.
No, I don't think. I think, like I just said, but it's close. It's real close.
I don't think it was close.
It's real close. Because I said I think that you guys were 2-point guards.
I carried my team.
But you know what's funny? He said he carried his team. And I'm going to make the argument that just like I told Aaron, how you had Andrew as a McDonald's All-American, how he had Andrew as a McDonald's All-American, people have to realize, and I'm looking at the camera, Shandre played with 2 McDonald's All-Americans. So you're talking about carry. You had help. This is why I give D'Angelo so much credit, because I'm looking like, who did my boy?
Who did John have?
No, who did when I talk about D'Angelo?
Okay.
I said, who did my boy D? Would need some lifelines.
He thugged it out by himself.
Yes,
but we wasn't worried. Like that's why we wasn't worried. But when people played us, I guarantee you, other than that Cam year, other than my junior year, I guarantee you, my senior year, I was the number one person on the scouting report. I guarantee you that. We played North Shore. Right?
Oh my God!
In the playoffs,
they were a year away. They were a year away.
Yeah, Molly.
They weren't y'all.
But listen,
they weren't y'all.
You know how every team played us in the playoffs?
How?
Every team double teamed me the whole game.
But the thing is, they double. But
they didn't double nobody else on our team.
But the thing is, you still had Kelly. Like at the end of the day, like you still had Kelly.
But did they double him?
They didn't double him. But you had the ball in hand.
We had BJ. BJ was cold.
Oh, B. Jones. Yeah, yeah. Shout out B.
BJ.
Jones. Shout
Yeah,
out
we had BJ.
Shout out Josh Jones, offensive tackle for the Ravens.
Shout out Josh for
Yes,
sure.
Yes.
Shout out Eden. We had Eden.
Yeah, Eden Ewing. Yeah.
They was young though.
They were young. Yeah.
They was young.
They were young.
So it was me and Kelly, and then trying to bring them along, right? So North Shore game, playoff game, packed. As soon as I touched the ball, double team. That happened the whole playoffs until we played Travis. Bel Air did the same thing.
But the thing about it is, like I just said,
But double teaming me and double
The
team
thing
Kelly.
is, you guys and Travis have the two best teams in the state. That's all I'm saying. Like John Jordan, like I just said. Like,
Okay. So take me off that team. Are we the best team? Are we one of the best teams in the state?
Of course not. But you can say
We
that
lost.
about
We
anybody.
lost 3-4 games in a row when I got hurt. We almost lost to Galena Park. Which Galena Park took us to overtime. Not lying. Check it on Max Preps. So you saying the team that almost lost to Galena Park is the best team, right? But once I get on the team, we don't lose no more games. Once I come back, we don't lose any more games. We lost one more game the whole rest of the year. I lost 2 games my senior year. Elkins and Travis.
But we can almost get in a debate then, other than the district MVP. Because to me, if you're talking about senior years, I think you and John Jordan got to be neck and neck.
Okay.
You and John Jordan has to be neck and
So-
neck. If you talk about senior years, one went
John's
to,
my partner too, so like
no, of course,
he's
of
my
course.
partner, but like, come on, bro. My senior, I was going crazy.
No, you were going crazy. But like I said,
I was going crazy, and that was the focal point.
But let's say you were going crazy to me in a no disrespect, in a watered down Fort Bend. It was
A watered
about
down
one-
Fort Bend.
It was one team. It was Travis.
So the argument that you make for me,
Yes.
right, is that I have Kelly and Cam.
Yes.
Right? That's the argument.
But John did have House.
That's what I'm saying. So are we just going to negate that House was who he was?
No, we're not going to get that fact. We're not going to get that fact. Like I said,
Do you think?
No. With Shandre,
do you
you're
think-
making the scene.
But do you think House would say he wasn't the best player on that team?
Of course not. He wouldn't say that. He wouldn't say that.
And can you if House was sitting on this couch right now, could you look at House and say you want the best player on that team?
Can I say it?
Yeah.
I would say it. I would say it. I would say, but but the thing is, that's not taking anything away from what he did, because I always felt like we did a cut one high school, and like in high school we did D'Angelo, I think Rasheed, Joe Young, or House. A lot of us cut House because we were just like, House's junior year, we believe that's when he took off. So we're not talking about what he did in the pros. Great pro, great professional, great college player. But like, we just felt like
Who was it? Who was the group?
it was D'Angelo, Rasheed, Joe Young, House. Cut one in high school.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So that's all that.
I just don't think. I think that House was the best player on that team.
You know what? But you're not the first person to say that though. There's a lot of people that have told you that.
I think you're just so close
No, because
To it.
no, I don't think it's close.
because I know where your alliance is at.
No, but think about it is if
Personally, I know.
No. But if that's the case, I have De'Aaron Fox as the my number one player in the decade.
But it's hard to argue that. Nobody will argue that.
So
You've never seen nobody argue that.
no, I've seen some people argue that.
Who they argue for?
Nah, a lot of people throw it.
Everybody's gonna agree with that. Fox was that.
Yeah.
He was that.
Yeah.
Like I said, before he played us, he was 50-50-50
Yeah.
freshman year.
Yeah.
So like we understood who he was and what we was gonna do.
Yeah.
But
It's no alliance.
That's crazy.
Here, bro. It's no alliance here. I know. Like I said, I know what you did for the city.
that's crazy. That's crazy. Like I came out of nowhere. Mind you, I wasn't from here. I came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like I had to earn all that.
Yeah.
So even me getting anything to me was a win.
Okay. No. Like I said, that's respect. Like I said, like I said, you're still one of my favorite guards in the city.
Yeah, I better be. I feel like I earned that.
No.
I feel like I earned that.
You did, especially when you hit the when you hit the shot against against Travis. I said, okay, he's
Yeah, I feel like I earned that. I feel like you can't take that away because what I did was, you know what I'm saying? It was that.
The last thing I need you to do, I want you to actually throw all your social media out.
Instagram, Shawndre _. I have no clue what my Twitter is, to be honest.
Okay.
But you can follow me on at Shawndre_.
And how can we kind of get in touch with your business?
You can follow my business too at ALC Outreach Region 1. And that's the handle. You can go to the website, alcoutreachservices.com. If you have any kids that need mental health or behavioral health outpatient services, you can contact me at 324-6-322-5090.
That's good.
You heard the man. This has been another episode of The Easy Corner. Shout out to my boy Shandre for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be back.
Hey, don't let him come over here and talk about that John Jordan over Shawndre no more, man.
I'll see you guys later, man. Subscribe on YouTube. We out.